Hello, guys, and welcome to Whiskey Tango Television. Thanks for coming back. This is Greg Goose coming at you. And now I'm hanging out in the theater. And, I figured this is a good place to hang out because this is going to be another State of the Community. This is State of the Community 2. And what a better place to do that than hanging out with a community. And everybody left except these two. Since there was like 20 people here a second ago. Anyway, so let's see. Where do we start? Pretty much basically the entire player base is frustrated. And there's part of the player base that's beyond frustrated. They're just pissed. Now, most likely, these are the people that got banned. Uh, the ban didn't bother anybody. It was the rollback that pissed everybody off. And, basically, I think if they were going to do the rollback, which they did, they should have done it for everything because people were abusing the target practice. Um, you could fail it at round two, fail it at round three, and then complete the whole thing. And it gave you an extra. It's already bad enough it was giving you 400,000 or 380,000 XP to complete. But when you go to round two, you got 80, then you got another 100,000. So people were gimmicking that system, and to make it worse is that when you failed it, you got targeted loot. So you got three pieces of targeted loot while gaming the system. And to be totally honest, that should probably have been rolled back too, and that may make me a lot of people upset with that. But I think that if they did the rollbacks like they did, they should have rolled back everything and everybody that kind of gamed the system, whether it be an exploit or a glitch or whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's people walking around. My watch is at 106, and I'm no fire. I'm nowhere near a hardcore player. I play 2 hours a day probably, if that, and I just goof around, have fun with friends, and sometimes solo, and it is what it is. But when you go out there and you got somebody that used the glitch at the target practice or the exploit or whatever you want to call it, because it is one of those things. They have their watch is over 1,000. Everything's maxed. They're going to be at an advantage. And these people put out build videos if they have a YouTube channel, as some of them do. Their builds don't work for you because they're unattainable. You know, they're always going to have an advantage. PvP, PvE, whatever. They're going to have an advantage because they have higher base stats per player than everybody else does. And that's not fair. They should have had their watches rolled back. They should have had the targeted loot removed. But whatever. Um, it's interesting to see. I've delayed this video for a week. I've been cruising Reddit and Metacritics. Metacritics. The game is not bad. The game is really fun. What's bad is the bugs that are in the game that, for whatever reason, they don't seem too quick to fix. They have a list of bugs in their head or on their whiteboards, and those are the ones they tend to fixing, and they're not fixing the ones that are game breaking. Like they're not. The revive took them a month to patch that revive. Reviving an ally when you were in a mission. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That stuff should have been fixed immediately. That should have gotten high priority. Um, you know, Nerfing a gun or a weapon or a piece of gear is not a priority when you have game breaking bugs still in the game, and that's just the way it is. Um, Now we did find out over the last week that Red Storm is out, and to be honest, they've been out for a while. we've just never heard anything official. I think the last thing we heard from was when they added a last man standing sort of component to a PvP thing. I don't do a lot of PvP. I hit the dark zone every now and then, but I don't do conflict or anything like that. A lot of times it's not fun because the metas of people that have more time to grind for it, I can't get the meta, and therefore you just get destroyed by the meta, and it's not fun. So PvP needs to be fixed, but it is a little surprising that Red Storm's out, and nobody said anything. Like, it would have been real easy to say, hey, Red Storm's working on another project, so PvP fixes are going to be coming slowly. I mean, they just said in the last state of the game that they were going to have somebody, they're working on things. Well, what are they working on? I mean, give us a punch list. I mean, because we can give you a punch list of everything that needs to be fixed. And I kind of think maybe that's what they should do. Like, look, they should come to the content creators and say, what are you hearing from your individual communities? Like, are you hearing anything that we're not working on? And give me what that is so we can prioritize things like that. I think that would go a long way to quelling the game. I mean, you go over to Metacritic, and I hinted at this a minute ago. And it's kind of ironic. I mean, everybody that got banned went out and bashed the game, and it's got like a 3.2 on Metacritic. Now, I mean, seriously, I mean, that's just, to me, that's just fucked up. You know, you got banned, you got caught doing a glitch, and they banned you, and so you go give them bad reviews. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the game is probably a 7. And if the game worked right and there was no friggin' bugs anywhere, this game would be a solid 8, maybe a 9. Um, it's a lot of fun when everything's working as intended, and the biggest problem is that the bugs seem to come out of random. Now, this may be why they're harder to fix than others, but like, I've gone through hours and hours of missions and have never had a glitch, never had a bug show up. And then there's been other times where I logged in and I've had tons of bugs show up. Uh, so I don't know if they're just linked to like a session, or if there's something that the players are doing at the time that's causing the bugs to show up. And that may be why it's harder to fix. But if they come to us and say, hey, what are you guys seeing? We can give them an actual punch list of what needs to really be done. Hey, this is game breaking. This is, forget the M1A for now. You need to fix this because this is a real problem. Whereas you know, nerfing the M1A is not a problem right now because it's the only thing that makes us feel strong. You know, and then I have to believe that going back to Red Storm, and the PvP issue. eh, PvP is not a big part of this game as it's designed, but at the end of the day, with the community, PvP drives this game. If you make your PvP fun as hell and working as intended and how you want it to, and you give us the modes we want for PvP, this game would be getting phenomenal reviews across the board. So to just say you got a couple of people working on it, they better come up with something good because this game goes as PvP goes, and it's 90% a PvE game, but PvP drives it across the board. So I hope they have some good people working on PvP. Another thing that has fired up the community was, I guess, devs playing with streamers, hanging out as fanboys and playing with streamers and joining clans. I don't know about the joining the clans. I think that's just a rumor. I haven't seen that personally, and I've looked. Um, Now, look, I mean, okay, everybody knows who it is. It's Hamish and playing with Wids. And you know, I personally think the community managers should play with players. Um, should they pick the big streamers and go hang out with them because they have everything and they know the game? No, they should do a lot of matchmaking, and they should matchmake with regular Joe Schmo and play with them, and get to know your community. I think that's the best way to do it. Now, to give the guy shit because he fanboyed out and grouped up with Wids and all this other thing. I mean, I can see the problem, uh, especially after everything that happened and people thinking that people should have been banned. It didn't get banned, and you know, um, I know Wids says he didn't use the damage glitch, and at least he didn't show it on his channel. Him using the damage glitch. However, he did show videos of him using a boss target farm lit glitch, and I watched it, and he got like five of the exotic SMGs, in a matter of 20 minutes, doing it. So should he? And then his April 1st gag of, you know, saying that he was banned and then didn't, and then throwing it in everybody's face that it was a gag, and that, to me, that needs to stop. All that does is fire up the play base for an unintended reason. The other thing that's been going around has been, that, well, they're working on Division 3. That's why they're not fixing the game. I mean, come on, guys, seriously, Division 3. Now, look, I saw the picture. It's a great picture of London and the Division 3 logo and everything. But I mean, come on. I think by going with this expansion, I think that they've already decided that they're going to be going an expansion route with Division 2. We're probably not going to see a Division 3. It's just going to be a live game and expansions, different cities, which could be phenomenal because that does follow the lore and the books and everything like that. And we're not even sure that the green poison and the dollar flu jumped the pond and even affected London. All we know is that it devastated the United States. So I think going forward, I really honestly believe they're going to be in an expansion scenario. Um, and to me, it makes perfect sense. It's much easier to do, and it's much more cost effective. The problem is you got to fix the base game. So the community's really frustrated with the devs right now because they don't appear to be listening, and they just appear to be going through the motions of whatever somebody writes on the whiteboard every day at the office, or their virtual whiteboard now that everybody's working from home, and they're not really listening to the feedback from their community that they're getting. And because of that, they're just getting trash, and there's really nothing for them to go on, so they fall back on what they've been doing. They just keep fixing what they feel needs to be fixed, and it's not the game that it is, because they're fixing stuff that doesn't need it. It's incidentals. Like, who the hell cares if they rework the UI? There's nothing wrong with the UI. The UI is so minimalistic as it is now. It doesn't matter. Don't rework anything. The UI is perfect. If it's not broke, don't fix. I mean, keep it simple, stupid. All those analogies. We don't need a UI fix. We need a game fix. Fix some of the broken shit and slowly start putting this community back on board. I mean, the devs really need to get their act together, and really start approaching their community. Let's bring the community in instead of pushing them away. And I think this game will go a lot better and a lot smoother for the remainder of year 2. and onward into year three and hopefully future expansions as we go down the line. Um, all right, fellas, I'm going to end that there. This is going to be Grey Goose signing out. Again, we were hanging out at the theater today. It's a nice little change. Uh, so I hope you guys see you on the other side. Again, do me a favor and please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Please leave me a comment on anything that you'd like to see me covered in the future. Um, and any feedback you have. I take it all seriously. We did have a couple new subscribers this month, so I'd like to welcome everybody to those new members to the Hit Squad. So this is Grey Goose signing out. Peace.